Hello there, everyone. Dakota from the Drew Crew here, and today we're going to be doing something a little different. So, some of you might have noticed or known, but there's been some developments in the Bloodborne community lately, and being one of my favorite games this gen, and possibly all time, I was keenly following these and really looking forward to seeing what was coming of these. And some of what was discovered was that there was some hidden, or, well, cut bosses, enemies, etc. from the game that they found when they just recently been able to like dump the files for the game, etc. and take a look at everything, which includes the script. Sanadiske gets a lot of credit here, I think, with dumping these files, going through them, looking at 3D models and stuff, and even just getting a hold of the script, the original script, and translating it to English and going through that, which is really interesting, adds a lot to the lore. Well, arguably, since it's been cut, I guess it's not officially lore, but today we're here because there's some interesting things with some of those cut bosses I mentioned before. So, a user by the name of Zuli the Witch was able to find the Chalice dungeon codes for two of these cut bosses, plus two other Chalice dungeons that we're going to be taking a look at today. And you don't need to hack your save or anything. You don't need to go to a save editor. The only thing you need is a current version of Bloodborne and the ability to play online. And all you need to do is go over to a blood altar, a ritual altar rather, and as you can see, I already have it here. But all you need to do is you just have to go down to remove a chalice, bleh, and then just do a chalice search, enter the chalice glyphs that I will post here in a second, and then you just head on in. Simple as that. So as you see, we've been dropped into a place with no name. Oh. So this is the boss, the Great One. He is really not finished. Very dark room. Ow. And some sort of almost horse-looking dog beast. But yeah, he can hurt you just by roaring at you. No real explanation as to that. But his hitboxes are definitely not done. He doesn't have a lot of health. But so he's beatable. He's easily beatable, but he's as opposed to the other boss we'll be looking at here in a minute. But yeah, he can hurt you by doing nothing, which is fun. Also, we'll deal with how to get out of these places in a second after I kill this guy, because if we look around here, there are no lanterns, so we can't really escape by normal means. Also, you get no echoes for killing him, which is fun. He does have a death animation, though. He has no boss health bar, however. But yeah, there's no lantern, so I can't really escape by normal means. So what you should probably do is before you head in here to these, you might want to just back up your save just in case. But I've had no issues with getting stuck yet. But what you need to do is just go and throw yourself off one of these empty rooms. And music stops and you just fall for a while. You fall for quite a while. There we go. So, when you fall out of bounds in this game, apparently you don't spawn back in the area, you spawn back at the Hunter's Dream. So we'll see that here in just a second. Boom. Alright, now we'll see you guys at the second boss here in just a second. Alright, so we have arrived at the second location. And I'm not going to turn around just yet to see the boss, which I actually I meant to show this one first. But, you see there's a whole lot of nothing out here. So skybox and ground, but what you can actually do is you can walk on nothing for a while. But if you walk far enough, then you will fall and die. This guy I'm probably not going to beat, but as you see there's a door up there and a giant tentacle. Now this is another one of the cut bosses. He is a lot more finished than the Great One, but his AI is a little goofy here as he'll try to attack you through the door, which he definitely can, and he can kill you before you even run into the room. But you can also hurt him. But his damage values, his hitboxes, etc. are not done. He has no boss health bar. He has a death animation, but again, I don't think he drops any, if hardly any, blood echoes. But he has his own boss room here, which looks a lot like the Orphan of Cause. Boss room. If we spin it around, we can see who we're fighting. It is a variant of the Moon Presence boss. Ow. Thank you. And he's got giant tentacles now. And yeah, though that attack there will kill you a lot. He is very beatable. Well, I won't say very, he is beatable, but he is not a slouch. I said his hitbox is not very great. His goop part back here can actually hurt you a lot more than his actual attacks, which is fun. But yeah, I'll give it an attempt here, but I don't plan on beating him. I think you can actually walk out into the water for quite some time. But he also does have a phase 2 to the boss fight, which, according to one of my friends, he has a essentially invisible projectile that does a crap ton of damage, so have fun with that. Let's do some spin to win action. And back the hell off. And his attacks are very fast, and they hurt. They hurt a lot. If I had been standing just a bit closer to him, I would have got hit. Also, he can fly, or float. It's... Oh! Yeah. That hurts. Give me some of that back, please. I don't know if you can critical attack him. I think you can. But, yeah. I think this is the most I've done to him. I probably just jinx myself. I'm gonna die. He has a crap ton of range because of those tentacles. The hitbox on the tentacles themselves are fine, but it's just the damage they do. But his whole body itself seems to have a hitbox, which can be annoying. Also, you can see him clipping through the ground there. So I'd say this boss is probably like at least 75% done. Like, it just seems a lot like he needed just some fine-tuning and polishing. I think I'm getting pretty close to round number 2 here. I might have got too greedy there. Okay. Floating down. Does that roar mean we're in the stage 2? Ow! So yeah, you see how much just that drop attack did. I need to say topped off at all. Yep, that's what he was talking about. It does seem to be an underground projectile or something. Oh, and there it goes. There goes my run. Yep. And you'll see here in a sec, if you do die to the boss or enemies in these Chalice dungeons regularly, then you will spawn in them, even though they do not have a lantern, as I said before. So, again, to get out, you have to run. Just run off. So, I'm going to try running past him. See if I can run in the water. And if that doesn't go well, then I'm just going to cut to the next Chalice. So you might see me running through the water, you might see the next Chalice here in a second, and it'll be a fun one, trust me. Okay, there's an invisible wall. He will follow you all the way out here. As you can see at the moment, we're currently walking on nothing. But while I'm here, I'll give it one more attempt. And there goes my attempt. Okay, guys, I'll see you in the next dungeon. Okay, so we're loading into the new area now. And I like to call it the fuck bunch, because you're going to see what happens here. It's fun times. This is a assumed test room, where they just shove in any enemy imaginable. Just a giant room full of a ton of the enemies in the game. Including some of the bosses, including the Witch of Hamwick and Cleric Beast. The worst part spawning in is there's these 3 giants right next to us. And some of these things die in one hit, but a lot of them don't. Or at least these giants don't. So there's a Canehurst flea back there. This is a fun room. My friend and I have thrown ourselves at the wall here just over and over, and not making a lot of progress. Shout out to Maximilian Dude, who actually I think killed everything in here. A lot of times here you don't get time to heal. Oh, I went for 2 heals there. I got greedy. Oh god. Enemies also do like to push you out these doors here. But there's another thing interesting about this room, is that I've yet to see it with my own eyes, but I've seen it in Maximilian Dude's video, where there is a bath, I think, in this room, where it sells all of the Chalice Dungeon variants of all of the weapons in the game, including DLC weapons like the... Oh, thanks. Thank you. The Moonlight Greatsword. I'm dead. Yeah. I think I might see it in the middle here. I'm going to make a run for it on my next spawn in here. But yeah, it sells all of the uncanny and lost variants. And if it is in this room, then they really are making you work for it. Because you can buy them. You can use them. But getting to them is the fun part. So just dodge here, run. Also, yeah, there's some unused enemies too, like there's a ghost, there's a person with a chain, and I just got pushed out. So yeah, that was that dungeon. Have fun with that one. I believe in Max's video he used the like the chain Gatling gun. That seemed to eat enemies apart pretty well. The idea seems to be aggroing as little of them as possible and taking them out in short order. But yeah, it's not fun trying to make any sort of progress in there. And yeah, one thing you should see here is that enemies will also follow you. Yay. Alright guys, I'll see you in the 4th one, which isn't the most interesting, but it's something to look at. Alright, so here we have the most difficult Chalice dungeon of them all. No, just kidding. This is actually more like a vacation compared to all the other ones, because there are no enemies. Just a bunch of assets. So yeah, just a ton of environment stuff. You can't interact with anything, unfortunately. You know, there's some chests down here. Run down to them, but you can't open them, which sucks. But yeah, just probably just a room for testing lighting and environment effects. But yeah, not a lot to do in here. Kind of a... I mean, it's interesting to look at, almost like a tiny art asset gallery, if you will. But you see stuff from all over the game. You can break these piles still. Where is that even from? I don't know. That's kind of cool. Almost, it's like a Bloodborne version of the Purging Monument. But yeah. So there's just this room here, and this is the last one that they've found so far. And again, there is no lantern. So let's get to the end and just jump out any of these windows here. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching. You see there's actually multiple floors that have no collision on them, so you just fall through. But thank you guys for watching. I don't know if I'll do more Bloodborne videos or Souls videos. I like to. I really like the games. But yeah. This has been an interesting week for... interesting couple weeks for Bloodborne fans with all the stuff that's been coming out lately from all these new files. But thanks for watching, and see ya.